What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, talking about female players in this video and asking a question. Is this the advent or the arrival of the lady duelist? Are girls going to start having a significant impact on the competitive meta? And when I say that, you guys got to keep it into perspective. I'm talking about them just at least being on the radar, topping events, and it being a regular occurrence, because if you've been playing this game for any time, you just know that that is not the case. I mean, I would probably estimate it when you talk about premier events like regionals and YCSs. What would you guys say is fair? I mean, I'm just going to say a rough estimation of maybe 5% of the player base is like female, and that might even be a little too generous, because I mean, let's say you go to regionals and it's 400 people. I mean, 20 girls being in the event, like, I think that's fair. Let's just say that it's 95% guy and 90 or 5% girls. So it's unreasonable to expect the 5% to have the same type of impact as the 95%. But in this week, we have had, I guess, kind of like a monumental breakthrough, and it may seem very small, but if you take it in the context of the entire game's history, this is actually pretty fucking significant. So within this week, we have had a girl win a regionals first place, which is never something easy. A lot of times for you to get first place, you've got to go like 8-0, or you have to go 7-1, which is still pretty difficult, and have the absolute best tiebreakers out of anyone who entered the event. And you had a girl make top 16 at YCS Minneapolis that just happened over the weekend, and I actually saw this on Pro Play Games' YouTube page, and one of my first things was, holy crap, a girl topped a YCS, congratulations, why didn't they give her a feature match? And they did. And that's exactly my first thought was, there is no way in hell I would have let a girl top a YCS and not give her a feature match, just because it just doesn't happen every day. And some of you guys may be thinking, oh, it's just one regionals, it's just one YCS. I've been playing this game for forever. I only remember one girl ever topping a shonen jump, and that was like 10 years ago. So it's not something that happens very often. And if you guys go to premier events, you just know a lot of times you just don't see girls at the top tables. You don't see them finishing, in the top 8 a lot of times. And for it to happen kind of twice in a week, that's definitely something where you got to open your eyes and be like, I wonder if this could become a trend, because I think that everybody would like that. Let's be honest, guys. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is much like, I guess, a lot of card games. It's kind of a boys club. And I did see a couple of nasty comments in the video that Isabella had, where some people were like, she probably did this to get her pot of desires. And it's like, come on, man. That's the type of shit that makes girls not want to play the game in the first place. But the reason I said that they should have given her a feature match is because if there are any younger female players out there, they may see this feature match and be like, wow, girls can play Yu-Gi-Oh! And not just play, but do it at the highest level just like the guys can. It gives them a little bit of hope, and it may make them more interested in the game. I actually think that Konami has done a pretty decent job of making Yu-Gi-Oh! Appealing to girls through the anime and the manga. If you look at all the series, you can go all the way back to the original. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Series has always done a pretty good job of making sure that they have, the lead female characters who have their own archetypes that, have a lot of screen time, have a lot of duels, everything from Mai to Akiza to Asuka Alexis from GX, and now in 5Ds, or excuse me, now in Arc V, you have Yuzu with her Melodious. Those, I guess, don't really count, to be honest, but you've got like Serena and her Lunar Lights and whatnot. And it's very important that these girls played competitive decks, because it would be one thing, you could probably say, oh, Cap, hell must have just froze over. Like, if this girl would have topped with, I don't know, Melodious, just because she liked them and they're kawaii desu and they're pink and she's been playing them, that would have been one thing where it's like, all right, this is obviously not sustainable. This can't become a trend. Melodious got their one top when, hell froze over and she got all of her cards, when she needed them, and had all the plays. But she played Galaxy Blue Eyes, and I think her build was very similar to Billy Break's build. And if it's good enough for a 3-time Shonen Jump champion, you know that it's a good deck. And then over here, you had Janny playing Dark Synchro when she won her regionals. And I mean, we'd have to consider both of these to be like tier 1 decks. So it shows you that these girls were not only able to perform, but they were able to perform with the best deck. So I don't understand why this could not be sustainable. I mean, I don't think that there's a such thing as like a fluke top to, a YCS. This event was almost 900 people, which probably meant that there was about 10 rounds of Swiss. So for her to make day 2, she had to go at least 8-2 or 9-1, and then she won her match. So she probably ended up about 9-2, or maybe 8-3, or maybe 9-3, something like that. So I think that these are definitely significant accomplishments, and I hope that this becomes a trend. I hope that this inspires other female players, because I think every guy would just kind of wish that there were, more diversity and more females at events, because it's cool. I mean, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, but it'd just be nicer to have some female presence at like premier events, to not have to look around and just see like 800 guys and be like, holy crap, this is such a sausage fest. So hopefully you guys agree with me that this could potentially become a trend. I don't think that these were two fluke performances. I think these girls knew what they were doing, and I want you guys' opinion. Do you guys think that this could become a sustainable thing where we see maybe once every other YCS a girl tops? Because right now it's kind of like once a year you see a girl top a regionals, or once every leap year you see a girl top a YCS. Not even that often. So it's kind of a shame, but I'm hoping that things are changing now, because for this to happen in the span of a week, man, it's looking promising. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.